أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's class. Jazakumullah for arriving on time, all of you that are here, and I will take a student, Nasirat N1203. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, yes, thank you for asking. We are all well. Okay, so would you like to read the opening dua by yourself, or would you like me to lead you?
I would like to read it myself.
Okay, excellent. That's fantastic. Don't forget the A'udhu Billahi, the Dawood before.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي علمني ما هو خير عندك.
Excellent, well done. That was very, very nice reading. And then the English translation.
Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Excellent, well done. And what is this reference at the end? Can you read this as well? Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Oh, okay. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Nasra 1203. Assalamu alaikum, Nasra N1203.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. Okay, so I lost your mic there for a moment. If you could read the reference as well.
Tazkira.
Excellent, well done. Jazakumullah. Okay. Okay, Jazakumullah for your help. And inshallah, we'll call you to the mic again another time. Okay. So today we are going to go on in our miscellaneous rules lesson, and we are going to be teaching, inshallah, all about Noon Gutni. But before we get to that, we need to know about something that's called Hamzatul Wasl, okay, or the blank alif, sometimes known as the joining alif. Okay, so let me just explain. Sometimes you will encounter in the Grammar Jeed words where the alif at the beginning hasn't any stroke on it. It doesn't have anything on it whatsoever. And you don't know what to do with it, okay? And during the recitations that you've been listening to, you will have encountered some of these, and the teachers have just essentially told you how to read those words. Now, there are rules that apply, which tell you which stroke to put onto the blank alif. Okay, and they're very simple, and I will explain them to you because you need to know about this in order to understand how to work with Noon Gutni. Okay, so Hamzatul Wasl, the blank alif. Some Quranic words start with a blank alif, an unvoweled letter, a letter without a stroke, also known as Hamzatul Wasl. The blank alif will always take a fatha if the next letter is a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad, as is the case in this example here. I can just, here we go, okay. Here you can see that in this word, it starts with an alif. The second letter is a lam sakin, okay. And what happens is that the blank alif will automatically take a fatha. Now in the Grammar Jeed, you will see that fatha. We've put it in here. It will be blank. But if ever you see a lam sakin and the blank alif before it, that will always take a fatha. Okay? Now, if the first, let me go on to the last one here. If the first mutaharik letter, a letter carrying a stroke, is dhamma, the blank alif will take dhamma. So in this word here, okay, in the grammar Jeed, you will see an alif without a stroke on top. The next letter in this particular word is a dal sakin, and the next letter is a mutaharik letter, it's a kha, it's carrying a dhamma, it's a madmoom kha. Because the very first mutaharik letter in this word happens to carry a dhamma, then this blank alif also carries a dhamma. And that's essentially all there is to it, okay? When you see a blank alif and you need to work out what the stroke it carries, you have to look at the very first mutaharik letter, and if it carries a dhamma, then the alif also carries a dhamma. If the first mutaharik letter, a letter carrying a stroke, has a fatha or a kasra, the blank alif will also take a kasra. So in this case, in the grammar Jeed, here, okay, let me see if I can just highlight it here. In this word here, you will not see the kasra written there. This has been something that we put in here. When you encounter a word like this, you look at the very first mutaharik letter. It happens to carry a fatha in this case. That means that this alif is automatically carrying a kasra. The very simple way of remembering these three rules is, if the second letter is a lam, the blank alif always carries a fatha. It's a maftu alif. If the very first mutaharik letter is a madmoom letter, one that carries a dhamma, then the alif carries a dhamma. Okay? The second letter is a lam sakin or a lam shaddad, the blank alif will carry a fatha. The very first mutaharik letter carries a dhamma, the alif carries a dhamma. Everything else carries a kasra. And that's a simple way of remembering how to work out what stroke to give to the blank alif. Now all of that will become a little clearer in a moment when I go on to the Nun Qutni, okay? Let me just have a student, Tifl, A1110. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Fine.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, just for completeness sake, would you read me this very first word here?
Al-Maliku.
Excellent, well done. And this next one here?
I'lamu.
Okay, this is an ayn sakin, okay, and it's joining onto an alif.
I'lamu.
Yes. I'lamu.
I'lamu.
Okay, that was a very, very good attempt. Whenever you join an ayn, try not to make a jerk, okay? The ayn has to join smoothly onto the letter beforehand. I'lamu.
I'lamu.
Very nice. Okay, and then this one here?
Udkhulu.
Well done, very nice. Okay, stretch the very last bit out for a little longer because this is a waw madda, so it takes 2 seconds. Okay, this one.
Khulu.
Excellent, well done. Okay, jazakumullah for your help. Okay, and inshallah we'll call you to the mic again another time. Okay, so that's about blank alif. Okay, it's very, very simple. And I'll just recap it. The second letter is a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad. The blank alif carries a fatha. The first mutaharik letter is a dhamma. The blank alif carries a dhamma. Everything else will carry, the blank alif will carry a kasra. Now there are exceptions to this rule, as is the case in all walks of life, okay? And these words here don't follow that particular rule. Okay, now we're not going to go into too much detail at this stage, but you just need to be aware that that is a very general rule. It applies almost everywhere, but these words here, it doesn't apply here. Okay, now let's move on to lesson number 22, which is what we've been doing for the last few days, and we've done the alif zayda, the excessive alif. and we've done 3 separate types of excessive alif. So you just bear with me. I'll work my way down to the Nun Qutni. Okay, then yesterday you did the Hamza Wow, okay, and then today we are going to go to here, okay, the miniature Nun. It's all part of lesson 22. And to explain, I will just read what's written here. Sometimes a small Nun is written in between 2 words. Looks like this, okay? And whenever you encounter it in the grammar Jeet, it will look different to all the other letters because it will be much smaller. So you will recognize that it's something that you have to treat slightly differently to everything else. It is read only in wasl, in continuation, when you're connecting 2 words in succession. If the reader makes a pause at the first word, okay, so round about here, okay, and then starts the next word, the small Nun will be ignored altogether in the reading. It is also called Nun Qutni. Okay, now we are going to now go through this particular exercise and see if we can work out how to read when the Nun Qutni appears, okay? And I will just go through one example to start off with, okay? Here we have Khay, followed by a Ru. There's a Nun Qutni. There is a blank alif, okay? It has no stroke. This is where the Hamzatul Wasl lesson comes into play, okay? In this word here, you will work out what stroke this alif carries, okay? And that will be something that you'll need to do if you do waqf here. So, if we were going to continue reading all the way through, this is how we would read it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم خير نطمئن خير نطمئن. I used the Nun and I joined it onto the Da Sakin. Okay, one more time. خير نطمئن. Okay, that's how you read this in continuation. In waqf, if we were to decide to do a waqf at the Ru, okay, this is how we would read it. First of all, we would need to say khair. The Ra with the Dhamma will become a Ra Sakin because of the waqf rules that you were taught some time ago. Khair. And then we have to carry on reading the next word, but we ignore the Nun Qutni, okay? But in order to read the next word, we need to know what stroke this alif carries. Now, I just taught you how to work that out, and that was if the second letter is a lam, then the alif will carry a fatha. In this case, the second letter isn't a lam, so that doesn't apply. If the first mutaharik letter is a dhamma, then that will carry a dhamma. The first mutaharik letter here doesn't carry a dhamma, so that doesn't apply. In which case, this falls into the everything else category, and that means that this alif will carry a kasra. Okay, so what we will do is we'll read this khair, and then itma'anna. The alif will carry a kasra, and the noon will be completely ignored. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to ask for some student on the mic, and let's see if we can go through these words together. Discipline in charge, if I may have a student.
It's N1226.
Assalamu alaikum, Nasra. N1226.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, darling. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm fine also, thank you. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, now what we're going to do is with yourself, this particular word here, would you like to have a go at reading it all and read it from the kha to the noon, okay, and incorporate the noon qutni? I will help you, okay, if you need to.
خير اطمأن.
Excellent. Well done. That was very, very nice reading. Excellent. Yes, when you're going to read it in continuation, the Noon Qutni has to be used. Now, if you were going to do read this again, but I asked you to do a waqf here at this point, okay, how would you read this?
خير اطمأن.
Well done, well done, very nice. Yes, do a little bit of a pause in between to indicate that you have actually stopped. Yeah, خير اطمأن.
خير اطمأن.
Excellent, well done. Okay, now have a go at this one also. And read this first of all as if you're going to read it all the way through.
فتنة انقلب.
Excellent, well done, very, very nice. Yes, in continuation, the Noon Qutni applies, and she quite rightly ignored the alif here, but incorporate the Noon Qutni with this Noon here. Very, very nice. Now, I'm going to ask you to read it again, but I want you to do waqf here, okay? And then read this word separately.
فتنة
Well done.
انقلب.
Excellent, well done, well done. Very, very nice. Yes. She correctly did a waqf at this da marbuta, and she knows that first of all, it becomes the dhamma disappears and there is a sukoon, and this becomes a ha sakin. Okay, the da marbuta becomes a ha sakin, and she correctly read this as fitnah. Now then, explain to me, darling. Okay, you did it correctly, but I just want you to explain it. Okay, why you chose to put a kasra on the blank alif?
Because and the next letter has a fatah.
The very first mutaharik letter here has a fatha, yes, which means that
You need to put a kasra underneath.
excellent, well done. Very, very nice reading. Jazakumullah for your help. If I can have another student on the mic, please.
Jazakallah.
Yes, A1131.
Assalamu alaikum, A1131.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so in this particular word here, okay, I would like you to read from the beginning to the end, and I'd like you to read it in continuation, okay? So have a go.
سواء أقيم أقيف.
Okay, okay, read it bit by bit, okay? Let me just get, okay, where my hand is pointing. Read this first of all.
So
Okay, well done. And this?
wa
Well done. Here? Excellent. And then what will you do here?
al
Okay.
anil
Okay, yeah. So say that again the second time.
anil.
Okay, yes. You would pronounce the A, and then the Noon Qutni has to come into play because you're reading all the way through. You're going to combine these two words together. So, nil. Well done. Read this bit here. Okay, that is A. It's followed by an alif, which happens to be blank. But because there's a fatha just before it, what is this alif?
A blank alif.
Okay, it is a blank alif in the sense that it has no stroke, but when an alif is preceded,
But you have to prolong the
yes, that's right, because this is an alif madda. It's an alif madda because there's a fatha just before it. Okay, so in that case, this is it's now 2 seconds. So have a read again. Well done. A little bit longer. Well done. Your ayn is very, very nice. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. Okay, just bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, well done. And then this last two letters?
Kifa, Kifu,
Well done, well done. Okay, so now have another go at putting it all together.
Sawa'anil aqifu.
Well done. This is a gaf, okay? What you pronounced was a very, very beautiful qaf, okay? But this is a simple gaf. Okay? You gotta make this thick and heavy. Okay, one more time.
Sawa'anil aqifu.
Excellent, well done. Yes. When you're reading in continuation, the noon qutni comes into play, and so therefore the noon will join on to the lam in this case. Now, I would like you to read this word, these two words again, but do a waqf here, okay? So see if you can read these two separately now.
Sawa'a.
Okay.
Il-aqifu.
Okay, okay. Right, okay then. So, let's take it bit by bit, yeah? You've read all the letters here quite correctly, okay? But when you do a waqf on a hamza with a fath on it, this becomes a hamza sakin, okay? And when you read, you have to read the sa, and you have to read the waw, alif madda, okay, with the maddatus kabira, okay, and you extend that for 4 seconds, but then you waqf on the hamza, and it becomes a hamza sakin. So if you could have another go at doing this first word, but with a waqf at the hamza, hamza.
Sawa.
Excellent, very, very, very nice, and you did a very, very nice. Excellent. Now have a go at reading the next word.
Al-aqifu.
Excellent, well done. Now tell me, why did you read that as an al with a fatha on the blank alif?
Because the first mutaharik letter has a kasra on it.
Okay, let me just take you back, okay? Just two. Yeah, okay, and let me explain the rules again, okay? Once you get the hang of them, it's very, very simple, okay? If the very first, if the second letter happens to be a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad, the blank alif takes a fatha, okay? The second letter is a lam sakin or a mushaddad, then the alif carries a fatha, okay? Can you see in this word here? What is this letter here?
It's a lam.
It is, yes. Which means that the blank alif will carry. It will carry.
I can't hear you. Your voice is cracking.
Okay, because the second letter is a lam sakin, the blank alif will carry
A fatha.
Excellent, well done. Yes, and that's the way that you have to work it out, okay? So you correctly read it, and now you understand the rules, okay? So one more time, read it with a waqf here, and then read this word separately.
Sawa.
Excellent.
Al-aqifu.
Excellent. Okay, well done. Jazakumullah. Okay, may I have another student on the mic?
Miss, can I ask you something?
Yes,
For the
Khalidi.
people that had their external exam on the 6th of November,
Yes.
some people didn't have their exam. So when will they have their exam?
You're very, very okay. We will try and schedule that in, okay? And we will come to you on that, okay? The exam you should take seriously, yes, because you're expected to do all of your, your revising every night, okay? And we will do, inshallah, another exam. But what we don't want to do is put lots of pressure on children and students. So inshallah, we'll schedule in another exam, okay? And we will let you know shortly, okay?
Okay, Jazakillah.
Okay, then. Okay, discipline in charge. May I have another student?
Yeah, it's N1223 and N1224 together.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Hello, darling. Okay then. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so what is your ID, darling?
N1223.
Okay, then. So you will read first, and then I will listen to your sister. I assume it's your sister afterwards. Okay. Okay. So now we have here a verse end as well within this. Okay. So first of all, what I would like you to do is read from the qaf all the way to this ya sakin here, okay, as if you're going to read in continuation, okay? So have a go.
Qadirunillazi.
Excellent, well done. That is very, very nice, okay? Let's just work a little bit on your timing, okay? Qadiru.
Qadiru.
Well done. Nillazi. Excellent. Qadirunillazi. Excellent, well done. Very nice reading there. Okay, now I would like you to read, but I would like you to do a waqf on this ra here.
Qadir.
Excellent, well done. Qadir. Well done. Okay, and then here.
Nillazi.
Okay. Now, let me just remind you again, okay, what it says up here. Sometimes a small noon is written in between two words. Here, we have that situation. It is read only in continuation, okay? Now, the first time you did read it because you were reading this word in continuation with this word. But if the reader makes a pause at the first word and starts the next word separately, the small noon will be ignored altogether in the reading. So the first time you read it, you included it because you were reading in continuation. Now I'm asking you to do a waqf here, and you do that very nicely. Then I'm asking you to read this bit, okay? So what do you do to the noon?
Ignore it.
Ignore it, yes. So you have to start with this alif and read the rest of it. Now, in order to work out what's going on with the alif, you have to look at the rest of the word and work out what stroke this blank alif will take. Can you work that out?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Let me show you again, okay? A blank alif will always take a fatha if the next letter is a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad. Okay, let me take you here. This is a blank alif. What's the very next letter?
A noon.
No, the blank alif is here, okay? And this is the very next letter here. What is that?
Oh, a lam.
It is. And what does the lam carry?
A fatha.
It does indeed. But what also does it carry?
I forgot the name of it.
Okay. Tashdid, this small W sign, is it tashdid? Sometimes people also call it a shadda. It means exactly the same thing, okay? So, the same letter, the very next letter, is a lam mushaddad. What stroke will the blank alif carry?
A fatha.
It will indeed, yes. And I'll remind you again what it says here. A blank alif always takes a fatha if the next letter is a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad. Okay, and that is the case here. So now have another go at reading this.
Alladhi.
Excellent, well done. Yes, alladhi.
Alladhi.
Excellent. So one more time, read from the qaf to the ya, okay, in continuation.
Qadirunilladhi.
Well done. Qadirunilladhi.
Qadirunilladhi.
Excellent. And now read when you're doing a waqf at the ra.
Qadir.
Excellent.
Alladhi.
Excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah, sweetheart. I'll now listen to your sister. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay then. So you're going to have a go. Let me make that line a little bit neat, okay? At this particular word here, okay? First of all, read from the lam to the ya in continuation, okay?
Lumazatillazi.
Okay, almost there, okay? Read it bit by bit. Read this first one here. You read it very, very nicely. Just do it a little bit slower so we can break it down, yeah? So start with the lam.
Lumazatillazi.
Okay. Okay. When you're reading in continuation, let me remind you what it says here. Sometimes a small noon is written in between two words. Here, a small noon is written in between this word and this word. So we have this situation. It is only read in wasl, in continuation, when you're connecting the two words together. Okay? So when you're going to read from this lam all the way to the ya, you're going to have to include this noon, okay? So have one more go, but remember that you've got to include this noon, okay? It's okay, I'll help you, darling. You just have a go, yeah?
Lumazatillazi.
Excellent, well done. Very, very nice reading. Everything was just right there, yeah? You read everything. You included the da marbuta. You included the fact that it has a kasra. And then you incorporated the noon qutniyin and joined it in with the lam mushaddad. Lumazatinilladhi.
Lumazatillazi.
Very, very nice reading. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to read, okay, and I want you to do a waqf here, okay, and then read this word here separately. Now, what happens when you read in that way? Do you know what happens to the noon? It says it here.
Right.
If the reader makes a pause at the first word, and that's what I'm asking you to do here, and then starts the next word, the small noon will be ignored altogether in the reading. So if I'm going to ask you to do a waqf here, what will you do to this noon? It says it here.
Ignore it.
Ignore it, yes. Okay, so have a go. You read the other way very, very nicely, darling. There's nothing wrong with your reading. Just have a go and I'll help you if I need to, okay?
Lumazatillazi.
Okay, that was a very, very nice reading when it's read in continuation, okay? When you have to do a waqf on this ta marbuta, what you have to remember is that a ta marbuta becomes a ha sakin. Okay, so when you're going to do a waqf here, you are going to have to read this particular highlighted ta marbuta as a ha sakin.
Okay.
Can you work out how to read that?
Lumatazi.
One more go, slowly.
Lumazati.
Okay, when it's ta marbuta becomes a ha sakin. Okay, the ha sakin will join onto this za with a fatha in this way. Zah.
Zah.
Well done. Lumazah.
Lumazah.
Well done. Lumazah. That's how you do a waqf on a ta marbuta. When you then go on to this word, you have to ignore the noon qutni because you've done a waqf already. Okay, and in order to read this word, you have to know what to do with the blank alif. Now, how are you going to deal with this blank alif? What will you do? What stroke will you give it?
Fatha.
Excellent, well done. That is the correct answer. Why is it a fatha?
Because it is.
It is indeed, yes. Let me remind you again, okay? Blank alif will always take fatha if the next letter is lam sakin or lam mushaddad. Okay, that's the rule that's going to apply here because there's the blank alif. The next letter is a lam mushaddad. It carries a tashdid, okay? And therefore, this blank alif will carry a fatha. So quite rightly, you read this as alladhi. Repeat after me. Alladhi.
Alladhi.
Excellent, well done. So one more time, read it from the lam to the ya in continuation.
Lumazatinilladhi.
Excellent, well done. And now read it again, but do a waqf here.
Lumazat. Lumazat.
Okay, the ta marbuta will become a ha sakin.
Lumazat.
Okay, there is no ta sound at the end when you do a waqf. The ta marbuta becomes a ha sakin, so it will be read like this, darling. Lumazah.
Lumazah.
Well done, yeah? Okay. And then you move on to here. So what do you do first of all with the noon here? You read it or you don't read it?
You don't read it?
You don't read it. Yes, be confident, darling. You don't read it because you've done a waqf and you now ignore the noon qutni. So then you read the rest of it.
Read it.
So we just explained, yeah, when you see a blank alif, if the next letter is a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad, the blank alif carries a fatha. Is that the situation that you've got here?
Yeah.
Yes. So this will be an alif with a fatha on it. So have a read.
Alladhi.
Excellent. Well done. That was very, very nice. Yes. This does become tricky if you are new to it, but it's actually very, very simple. You just have to imagine that the fatha is there, okay? So when you're reading this particular combination, okay, it will be in continuation, lumazati nilladhi, because you are not doing waqf here, so the ta marbuta stays as it is. and the Noon Qutni comes into play and it becomes joined to the Lam. When you're going to do a waqf, then you have to remember that the Ta marbuta becomes a Ha sakin, lumazah, and then here the Noon Qutni is ignored and the blank alif then comes into play. And the way it comes into play depends on what's going on next. It happens to be a La mushaddad, therefore this will be a fatha. Alladhi.
Alladhi.
Excellent. Okay, what I would suggest, darling, is you go back to the waqf lesson and that we did some days back, and then see what happens to a ta marbuta when you do waqf on it, okay? And that will show you where to look if ever you have to do waqf for a ta marbuta again, okay? A ta marbuta always becomes a ha sakin. Okay, Jazakumullah for your help. If I may have another student. Allah Hafiz, darling.
Yeah, it's A1128.
Assalamu alaikum. A1128.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, darling?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, also good. Okay, so you've got a fair bit to read here. First of all, would you have a go at reading it all in continuation?
Okay. Bihu min ismuhu Yahya.
Okay, well done. That was almost perfect. Okay, have another go, but pay attention to this particular letter here that carries a vertical fatha. Okay, this letter here does look like an alif, okay, because it goes straight up, and many times you will see this and you will think, oh, okay, that might be an alif. The way to work out whether it's actually an alif or not is see if it joins onto another letter. If it joins onto another letter, it won't be an alif, okay? An alif never joins on to another letter. If you can see here, here is written all by itself. Here is written all by itself. Here is written all by itself, okay? Here, this is not an alif. It joins to a letter beforehand, but it doesn't join on to the next letter. Same here, okay? This is also an alif. It can join to the letter beforehand, but it never joins on to a letter afterwards. In this particular one here, this letter is joining on to the next one. It's definitely not an alif. What could it be?
Lam.
Yes, well done. And don't worry, this is quite a common thing to get wrong, okay? But it's quite important that you do recognize how to tell the difference between an alif and a lam when they occur like this, okay? So one more time, all the way through. Okay, read me from this meme up to this ha. Okay, well done. Yes, that was very, very nice. Yes, he's read it all in continuation, and therefore the Noon Qutni, which occurs here, is going to come into play. And so he quite correctly has read it as Bihulami nismuhu Yahya. Okay, because the Noon Qutni comes into play. Now, if you could have another go at reading all the way through, but do a waqf here. Well done.
Nismuhu Yahya.
Okay, one more time. I didn't quite catch what you did here. How did you start it off? Miss. Okay. Okay. This first word, you've done work on it already. The meme has been taken care of as part of this word. Bihulam. Okay, you've read this one already. The meme has been used up. You've now got to deal with this word here. There's a Noon Qutni. What do you do with the Noon Qutni when you're going to do a waqf between the two words?
You ignore it.
Ignore it, yes. When you do waqf, You ignore the noon gudni, okay? So this noon is going to be completely ignored. You're going to move on to the word and it's going to start here, okay? What you've got to do now is work out how to deal with this blank alif, okay? What do you think is going to happen to this blank alif?
Pass.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Let me show you, okay? In this one here, if the first mutaharik letter is a dhamma, the blank alif will also take a dhamma. In this example here, the first mutaharik letter here, after the blank alif, carried a dhamma. Therefore, the blank alif also carried a dhamma. Let me take you back to this lesson here. In this word here, okay, let me just, in from this alif all the way through there, okay? In this word here, starts with an alif, there's a sin, there's a meme, there's a ha, goes on. In this word, what is the very first mutaharik letter? I'm pointing to it right here. It's a meme, yes. This is a blank alif. This is sin sakin, okay, because it carries a sukoon. And this is a meme and it carries a dhamma, okay. This is the very first mutaharik letter you've come across in this word. It happens to be carrying a dhamma. The rule that applies is that if this first mutaharik letter carries a dhamma, the blank alif also carries a dhamma. Okay? And that's how you work out what to do with this blank alif. So now you have to imagine it because it's not written there. How would you read this word here?
Usmuhu Yahya.
Excellent, well done. Yes, okay. So one more time, read from this word, read it all the way through in continuation.
Bihula mi usmuhu Yahya.
One more time, all the way through.
Bihula mi usmuhu Yahya.
Okay. When you read in continuation, let me show you what's written up here. Sometimes a small noon is written in between two words. Here we have such a situation. A small noon is written in between these two words here. It is read only in continuation. So you have to read it when you're going to join the words together. Okay? So have another go.
Bihula min ismuhu Yahya.
Excellent. Well done. Well done. Okay, and now read me all of this, but do a waqf here.
Bihula
Well done.
ismuhu Yahya.
Excellent. Okay, just one more time so I can hear it clearly. Read it from here onwards.
Ismuhu Yahya.
Excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah. If I may have another student on the mic, please.
Yeah. A1130.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
I'm fine.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's have a go at this particular combination, okay? Now, I would like you to read the whole of this in continuation. But before we do that, can you tell me what you will do with the noon? Will you read it or won't you read it?
We'll read it.
You will read it, yes, because you're going to join it all together. And in that case, the noon comes into place. So have a go.
Khairun nit ma'anna.
Excellent, well done. Khairunit ma'anna.
Khairut.
Okay, I can't hear that student. Is he still there? Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, his mic is on.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I couldn't hear you for a moment. Okay. One more time, all the way through in continuation.
Khairun nitma'anna.
Excellent. Well done. Okay. Now read me the whole of this, but do a waqf here. Okay, at the ra. But before you do, tell me, will you or won't you be reading this noon?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to do a waqf at the ra. Tell me again, have another think. What do you think you're going to do with the noon?
I think you might still say it.
You have to ignore it, darling, okay? And it says it here, okay? If you make a pause at the first word and then start the next word, the small noon here is ignored altogether. And when you make a waqf here on this ra, this noon is not going to be read, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So have a go at reading.
Khairut ma'anna.
Okay. Okay. So here, this highlights how important it is to understand how to make a waqf at the end of a word, okay? This is a ra with the dhamma. When you're reading it all the way through, as the young Tifl did, quite rightly, you read the ra with the dhamma. Khairun nitma'anna. But when you do,
Khairun nitma'anna.
well done. When you do a waqf though, on a letter that carries a dhamma, okay, it becomes a sakin letter. Okay, so this ra will become a ra sakin. So when you read this and you make a pause here, you have to read it as khair.
Khair.
Well done. And in order to know why what I'm saying is correct, you need to go back to the waqf lesson, okay, which was done some time ago, and then see what happens. I think it was in lesson in rule number 1, 2, and 3. If you see a dhamma and you go to do waqf, it becomes a sakin, okay? Khair.
Khair.
Well done. Okay, so that's the first thing that you'll need to do. Go back to the waqf lesson and understand how to make a waqf. The next thing you need to do is understand that when a noon qutni is involved, okay, and you've done the waqf, the noon qutni is ignored altogether because you're going to join two words. The two words are going to be read separately, so it's ignored. Ignored, okay? And once you've decided that, the next thing you've got to do is work out what to do with the blank alif, okay? And the way to work it out is to look at the next letter. If it's a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad, that blank alif will carry a fatha. In this case, it isn't, so that situation doesn't apply.
Okay.
If the very first mutaharik letter is a dhamma, then that blank alif will carry a dhamma. In this case, the very first mutaharik letter here is a meme. It doesn't carry a dhamma, so that situation isn't going to apply either. So you then have to understand that if those two situations aren't there, then the blank alif will just take a kasra, okay? So you now have to imagine that this blank alif has a kasra underneath, okay? So when you do a pause, you say khair, and then you read this with the blank alif carrying a kasra. So have a go.
Khair nitmanna.
Okay. Okay, not to worry, okay? You will need to practice on that. There's a lot of things going on with Noon Qudni, okay? And when you encounter it in the Quran Majid, you'll encounter it quite often. And after a while, it'll become second nature, okay? There are some steps that you always have to do. First of all, make a decision whether you're going to read all in continuation or whether you're going to make a waqf. If you're going to read all in continuation, then the Noon Qutni is going to apply. So you have to pronounce everything that's written there. Khayrun itma'anna.
Khayrun itma'anna.
Well done. If you make the decision that you're going to do a pause at the end of the word, okay, then you have to know how to make that pause. So you have to know your waqf rules, okay? So you need to know that a ra with a dhamma, a madmum ra, will become a ra sakin, okay? First of all, you need to know all of your waqf. So this will become a khair.
Khair.
Excellent. And then having done that, you've then got to remember that because you've made that pause, you've done that waqf, this noon kutni now will not apply, because it says it here. If you make a pause at the first word and start the next word, the small noon will be ignored altogether. Okay? So if you're going to make the decision that you're going to make a pause, then you ignore the noon kutni. And then the next step is to work out what to do with the blank alif. So you have to then remember the rules about how to give it a stroke. And in this particular case, the second letter was an alam. The very first mutaharik letter wasn't a dhamma, so this alif carried a kasra. And the correct way of reading this would be khair itma'anna.
Khayrun itma'anna.
Okay, you will need to practice that. Ask your parents to give you a hand overnight, okay? Jazakumullah for your help, sweetheart, okay? And if I can now have all the students on mute, I'm discipline in charge, and I'll just recap.
Okay, bye.
Allah Hafiz, sweetheart.
Practice.
Okay, so today we have learned that sometimes in the Grammar Jeed we will see words where there is a blank alif, and it won't carry a stroke, and we have to work out how to carry the stroke, which stroke it carries. And the way to work it out is to look at the very next letter. If it's a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad, the blank alif will carry a fatha. If the lam sakin or the lam mushaddad is not there, then what you do is you look at the very first mutaharik letter. If it happens to be a dhamma, as it is in this case here, okay, then the blank alif will carry a dhamma. Every other situation, the blank alif will carry kasra. It's a very simple rule to remember. It's maybe a little bit more tricky to apply, as we've seen in the lesson. Then we've gone on to learn about how to deal with noon kutni. And when you see a small noon, okay, and it always looks very different because it is very small compared to all the other letters, you have to make a decision whether you're going to read all the way through or whether you're going to make a pause. If you make a decision to read all the way through, then the noon kutni will be read. If you make a decision to pause, then you have to make sure you know how to make a pause appropriately, and then you have to know how to apply the stroke onto the blank alif. The noon kutni will be ignored. Okay, now for your homework, I would like you all to have a go at reading through exercise 22.9 and have a go at reading it all through without making a pause at all, okay, and applying the noon kutni, and then have a go at reading it all the way through when you're making a pause just before the noon kutni, and then see how you get on. Okay, so at that point, I will ask for a student to read the final dua with us.
It's A1107.
Assalamu alaikum. The full A1107.
Salam.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
No. Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, would you like to have a look at reading the end dua? It's okay, darling. You just concentrate on the screen, okay? Would you like to have a go at reading this end dua, please? Or would you like me to leave?
Okay.
Okay.
Allahumma arhamni bil Quran al Azim. Oh
Excellent.
Allah, Have mercy on me through the great Quran.
Excellent. Jazakumullah for your help. Jazakumullah for everybody's attendance today. Please do practice this exercise tonight. It's confusing for the children, yes, but with practice, inshallah, they'll get there. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.